In this video, I'm going to show you how I created such a unique offer to stop competing on price once and for all. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a ton of insights to make your own offer impossible to compete with so you can charge whatever price you want to choose. If you're new around here, my name is Andreas, and for the past 4 years, I've been the CEO of Python Marketing, where we specialize in helping founders just like yourself to step away from the daily grind of client acquisition and operations by implementing streamlined automated systems. And before, when we started out, we used to offer just Facebook ads. And of course, if you come to us and we tell you, hey, we're going to run Facebook ads for $1,000 a month. Since there's no real value proposition, people were just deciding on price. You can go on Fiverr.com or Upwork right now and find somebody who can run Facebook ads for $30 a month. No joke. And since there's so much supply of people offering to do Facebook ads, it's completely commoditized. If you came to us, we wouldn't have a differentiating factor from the next guy. And of course, this makes it really hard to charge high prices. Because why would they pay us 5 times more than the next guy who is also going to do the same service, has probably similar quality, and seems just as trustworthy as we are to the client? So at this point, creating a unique offer was no longer just a possibility, it was necessary if I wanted to survive, because I needed a vehicle that would solve the struggle to generate consistent leads and appointments, since whenever they looked up on the internet, YouTube, Fiverr, wherever you want to position yourself, if you looked for Facebook ads, you would have a million different options. So getting people to click on our ad or our option would just come down to luck at the end of the day. With the leads that were generated and the appointments that were set, we would have to chase clients endlessly after that first call to actually convince them to close. Because once again, they were shopping around. They had a ton of other sales calls with other people that did the same service. So they would rarely close on the first call, since they wanted, of course, to make sure that they were making the best decision possible. So they wanted to speak with 10 plus different people. And since the pricing with us wasn't that much different from anybody else, it was just like a simple monthly retainer, they couldn't justify the purchase as a return of investment. It was more so an out-of-pocket cost, which brought no sales, not very surprisingly. So to make the offer unique, I went overboard and offered tons of different services at the same time. Since we work with solar companies, we offered to run their ads to generate homeowner leads, run their cold email to generate different B2B deals. So for example, generating hotel leads, manufacturing leads, any lead related to company, and then having a manual appointment setter ring both types of leads and book them in for appointments. So it was a bit too much, but it at least made the service very unique. As you can imagine, it backfired by diluting the value proposition. Since we added so many different things, they didn't know which one brought the most value. Plus, it added tons of complexity to us to actually deliver. And I realized that it wasn't about how many services at once I was offering, since they got the most value out of just a select couple mechanisms that I was implementing for them. But clients weren't valuing so much the whole value proposition. It was much more about doing less, but better. So I stopped offering just Facebook ads or the complete done for you offer, which you saw in the previous slide. And I started to offer automating your entire sales process to these solar companies. Instead of solving one piece of the puzzle, I went all in without going overboard on the services. So if you look at the timeline from generating a lead, setting the appointment, and then closing the sale, previously I was just offering the first piece. But I decided to go all in on the entire process with a simple funnel, which in this case was Facebook ads and then setting appointments with AI. I completely ditched the cold email since it was very hard to scale and most of the clients weren't getting as much value out of the cold email as they were getting from the Facebook ads, since it did take 3 to 6 months to close a B2B deal, while the homeowner leads could be closed within the first sitting. So the ROI was much faster on that service. So I decided to go completely all in with that. By offering this different promise where it's not, I run your Facebook ads, it's I automate your entire sales process paired with services plus products on the services side, of course, creating the ads, setting all the automations and optimizing the whole funnel, plus the products, which are the actual AI callers, plus the ads, I could stand out from the crowd. Now it wasn't an issue having people to shop around so much as they did previously, since they didn't know many people that could automate an entire sales process for a solar company. Even if it was a bit more of a niche offering, for example, setting up AI assistants to cold call, that's still very commoditized. By offering either to run Facebook ads, to set up automations, to set up AI assistants, they have a ton of different options. But when you sell the end result of a bunch of different systems completely integrated with one another, you can become something completely unique. With this unique offer, it's easier to generate leads because the ads offer something more interesting. When calling those leads to set up the appointments, it's much easier to get them interested. And of course, if they're interested, they're going to show up more often than not. And finally, on the sales call, since it's something different from what they've heard previously, it's so much easier to close the deal. To be completely transparent, a couple of persistent challenges that we've still had to face is transmitting the value proposition as something more than just ads plus AI. Because once we actually break down the program and how it works, it's easy for clients or prospects in this case to focus on just one thing. So for example, if it's ads plus AI, if we simplify the offer a lot, oftentimes they will say, but I've already tried ads in the past. It didn't work. I'm not interested. Or AI, I'm not sure about AI. Transmitting the value proposition can be a challenge if prospects start to focus on just one piece of the puzzle instead of the entire thing at the same time. Which once again brings us to breaking free from I've tried something similar, I've tried ads, I don't know about AI. So those are the two most common objections. So up to this point, you know exactly the offer and the pieces of the puzzle needed to create a unique offer. Now I want you to copy my exact funnel to acquire those clients. Once you have put an irresistible offer, I'm going to leave a link to the video down below where you can literally copy paste the entire funnel. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.